Shrutismritam Alayam Karunalayam Namami Bhagavatpatam Shankaram Lokashankaram Shankaram Shankaracharyam Keshavam Vatarayanam Sutra Bhashya Kritau Vande Bhagavantau Punah Punah Sada Shiva Samarambham Shankaracharya Madhyamam Asmatacharya Padyantam Vande Guru Paramparam Ishvaro Gururatmeti Murti Beta Vibhakine Vyomavad Vyapta Dehaya Dakshinamurtaye Namaha Ukaro Anthakaro Vairukarasten Nivartakaha Anthakara Nirodhitvad Gururitya Vidhiyate Om Sahana Bhavatu Sahanau Bhunaktu Sahavidyam Karavavahai Tejasvinavadhitamastu Ma Vidvishavahai Om Shanti 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 Bhaja Govindam Bhaja Govindam Govindam Bhaja Mudamate Samprapte Sannihite Kale Nahi Nahi Rakshati Dukrim Karane. Shloka number 17. I will read. Kurute Ganga Sagaragamanam Vrata Paripalanamathavadanam Jnana Vihina Sarvamatena Muktim na bhajati Janmashatena. Once. Kurute Ganga Sagaragamanam Vrata Paripalanamathavadanam Jnana Vihina Sarvamatena Muktim na bhajati Janmashatena. Bhaja Govindam Bhaja Govindam Govindam Bhaja Mudamate. So, we are in the 17th shloka of Bhaja Govindam. Shankara wants to point out where one can go and achieve their human goal. 1 minute, I will just lock the door. If not, my students will come. Thank you. Sorry. So, Shankara, in a systematic way, is giving the information or is lighting up the clear route of a human being by holding the hands of a samsari from the world and slowly give the discrimination about this empirical world. And slowly he is guiding the person step by step by clearing his all confirmations which are already preoccupying in his brain regarding his life and regarding how to live the life and how I should achieve the goal. All these things already there is a preoccupied state or condition is there in our brain. But he wants to clarify. He wants to give the clean-cut vision regarding Vedanta and also the goal of a human being in a nice way, step by step. Sometimes it seems to be rude when he say to cut off the relationships from the world, which are not very easy. But while revealing the truth or knowledge, there is no shortcuts. One need to say directly. It may be painful because we are in the opposite side what he is revealing. And we have to come into his side. And we don't want to give up the pet thoughts and the pet feelings regarding this empirical world. Relatives, friends, daughters, son, and my husband, my wife, my big house, my big cars, everything is making me more and more ego-puffed living being in this world. I don't want to give up all these things because life is only once, and I don't know whether I will fall again to a human being life, and in the same situation I will be taking again a same birth like this. I don't have idea. So I don't want to give up. What are the things right now? That is the opposite side of what Shankara reveals. We call this entire thing Dvaita Prapancham or Samsara or Maya Kalpida, Jiva Kalpida Bhava. The state which are being assumed by a normal living being without having a total understanding regarding the truth and untruth. My judgments, my confirmations, my decisions are not based upon the truth. All these things are based upon emotions. Just out of emotions, I build up myself, all these things. Emotions should be ruled out through knowledge. This is what Shankara is doing throughout Bhaja Govindam. He is ruling out all the emotions slowly by giving the light towards that emotions. And one needs to work on that. And one needs to give slowly in the day-to-day life, coming towards what Shankara wants to be done in our life. We should go in his way. Slowly, not at once itself, I cannot change my whole setup of my life. But one should work on that knowledge. And Shankara is giving in this slogan regarding where I should receive this glorious knowledge in my life. We know that every culture, every tradition, every civilization originated all over the world in the banks of rivers. We know that. Egyptian culture, Greek civilization, Mesopotamian civilization, Harappan civilization, Indus Valley culture. Different cultures are there. Mexican culture, Brazilian culture, a beautiful civilization in the banks of Amazon. It was there. Still, few people are performing the same civilization. We know that all these civilizations all around the world originated in the banks of rivers. We know that. Every civilization have its own stance in the banks of rivers, different rivers, because water is the life form of all civilization. Based on water only, one can survive, one can live a life, one can conduct their lifestyle, based depending on the water. We know that. And water is always alive. Panchamaha Bhutani. 5 elements. We know that. Akasham, space. Akashat, Vayuhu, air. Vital force, air. Vayor Agnihi, the purifier, the fire. Agni Rapaha, from the fire, thus comes the water, which is always alive. From the water, Prithvi, this gross world, universe. There is a systematic sequence of origination when we study the Vedanta. And we know that all these 5 elements put together to make one single form of a human being or any other creature. They all get together in a specified mixture called Panchikaranam, which is not our topic. In a right time, or when we get that time, what is called Panchikaranam, mixing of 5 elements in a specified manner. And we will get a form. Any form is a mixture of these 5 elements. And I am coming to water because water is our topic now. Water is always alive. It's just like a life form. That's why we say that don't pollute water or air. It is just pollution. It just you are making your body unpurified when you pollute water. In this universe, people are not taking it seriously when they run a factory, and the outlet will be going towards one famous river always, or the drainage will be connected to the rivers. Knowingly or unknowingly, people used to do all these things. What I want to say as a spiritual person, you have to know that our water, which we see all around, is always alive. It's just like a person who have the eyes looking at you, who have a nose to smell all around the world, who has a mouth to talk with you. Water is a person, a personality. It has something to give for me always. It has some truth. Definitely all these 5 elements should be seen in our life as a alive personality. We respect them in different names and forms. There are people who have fire as their Lord in India. Early morning, Sandhya Vandanam starts praying towards the water and fire and all these 5 elements respectively, one after another. Why? Whatever I see in this world is a mixture of these 5 elements. If they bless me, I will be very easy to deal with each and every personality in the world, because each and every personality and the creature, whatever I see in this world, sentient or insentient, it is just a mixture of these 5 elements. That's why Sandhya Vandanam is very important in tradition. As a person who performs Sandhya Vandanam early in the morning, along with his prayers, will remove all his obstacles in his spiritual path. It is a belief. Keep aside. Come to the rivers. Kurute Ganga Sagara Gamana. So, the Indian tradition, which are based upon Vedas, our fundamental scriptures. This glorious tradition originated in the banks of Ganges. Not only in the banks of Ganges, it also originated in the banks of Narmada. It also originated in the name of Sindhu, which we call Indus. We have 7 holy rivers according to our legendary Puranas. Puranas means Smritis. Gange cha Yamune chaiva Godavari Saraswati Narmade Sindhu Kaveri Jalesmin Sannidhim Kuru. In this mantra, all these 7 holy major rivers are being mentioned. Gange, Mother Ganges. Yamuna, Ma Yamuna. Godavari and Saraswati. Narmada, Sindhu and Kaveri. May all these mothers, who is in the form of water bodies, bless us whatever we do in our day-to-day life. Asmin Jale, which water which I kept in front of me, please let they have their presence on this water. We invoke their presence in this one small pot of water. So I want to mention you again. Our civilization, our glorious culture, our Indian spiritual tradition originated in the banks of rivers, and especially the banks of Ganges is always filled with the Mahatmas, the glorious sages and traditional gurus. And also, it is a place for the refugees from all over the world. Whoever suffer mentally, physically, whoever suffer certain issues in their day-to-day life, whoever is under some pressure inside their mind, just give up the lifestyle what you are performing and take a break and go to Ganges for 1 week. Just for 1 week, not more days. When you don't have any plan, just for 1 week you go to Ganges. Some miracles will happen in your life. When you see the Ganges, when you stay with the Ganges and speak with her, whatever you feel inside your mind, just like a mad, just speak with her and you put all the pain in the Ganges which is alive. Some miracles will happen, definitely. It's a proven truth. Most of the Mahatmas made their journey inside spirituality. Their starting point was from the banks of Ganges. And those who have crossed over this bondage or samsara, they started their spiritual journey from these banks of Ganges. That is why Shankara wants to mention this particular river and its banks. It's a dream for every Indian or every Tamilan to go and see the Ganges and Himalayas. In Vibhuti Yoga, Lord Krishna says that Shrotasam asmi Janhavi, which are among the high pressure flow, the rivers which are in a flow with high pressure. Among them, I am Ganges, Janhavi. And also he says, among the mountains, big mountains, I am Himalayas. So it's very important that Even though I commit daily in my life a lot of mistakes, knowingly or unknowingly, even though I don't want, my pressure makes me to do certain mistakes in my life. It's okay. You need not to clear up. No need to wipe out them. Keeping all these mistakes within you, you take a journey towards the banks of Ganges. Definitely there will be somebody to take your pain and sorrow in the form of sages who are living in a simple hermitage, small kutiyas. Nowadays, small RC buildings in the form of ashram. Never mind, go and see them. You will get some words which are consoling, which will be very helpful to overcome all kinds of problems what we are suffering right now in our life. At least some material relief, some solutions for your life, the tragedies and the incidents which are occurring, which I cannot tolerate myself, what are going around in my life. I need somebody to console me, to give the direction, to guidance. That is why Shankara gives a tip, a point, make a spiritual person who is a spiritual seeker, a jijnasu or a mumukshu, seeker of freedom, seeker of knowledge, should depart looking towards the banks of Ganges. If it is possible, husband and wife all together. Or like Delhi families. Some of the Delhi families always take their trip with their children to Ganges. Of course, they will also go to Mussoorie, some hi-fi picnic also. But most of them visit ashram. They want to develop this tradition right from the beginning of a kid. So they will take their children towards ashram in the banks of Ganges and experience the lifestyle of the person who are living in the banks of Ganges. So, as a spiritual seeker myself, I want to get more and more information regarding my goal and regarding my path to reach the goal. I need somebody to guide. Where I will meet somebody. That's why Shankara wants to clear. He wants to say that Kurute Ganga Sakara Gamanam. May one lead their life towards the banks of Ganges or the place where Ganges meet the ocean. It's okay. From the origination to the resolution of Ganges, it's almost 2,800 kilometers. Ganges is running through India. Almost these, all the places, wherever Ganges reaches, there will be some people who is studying themselves and also giving the auspicious teachings of Vedas. Some people may be teaching Karmakanda, which is the means to reach the goal. Some people will be teaching the Vedanta, which is the goal itself of a human being. Some people will be teaching the paths, which are elementary topics, which are essential topics to know Vedanta, like Veda Anka, Niruktam, Chantas, Jyotisham, Vyakaranam, like that. Some are teaching darshanas, Sankhyam, different philosophies, which will be helpful to study Vedanta. Somehow you will meet the teachers. Those who are qualified themselves, how you will know they are qualified? Not out of their academical qualifications. Then they live what they teach. Their lifestyle itself is molded according to their teaching. So whatever they teach us, you can see in his life. This is called qualified teachers. You will see these type of people in the banks of Ganges. But one should get the time to go to Ganges. One should have the capacity for the body to go to Ganges. Of course, money is a problem to go by flight or etc. etc. So what I will do, Swamiji, I don't have nowadays. Shankara is giving the basic idea where one need to study the spirituality. Nowadays, technology is more developed and much far away from those teachings. We use all the technologies to deliver this knowledge. Even though it is called Shruti, it is called Upanishad, one need to study right sitting in front of the Guru with an eye vision. Still, right now, the things are not at all in our hands. Some type of pandemic is going on. Some people are not yet ready to go to different countries, but they want to study this glorious knowledge. That's why technology we are employed in our, we are using our technology called online classes, etc., etc. Still, keep in the mind those slogas, whatever revealed, the facts what are revealed in that slogas are to be done by a spiritual seeker when they get the time and when they get the situations. This is for sure. So keep an eye on the journey towards the banks of Ganges to meet the people who are living according to the teachings of Vedas and Vedantas. That is what been told by the first line, Kurude Ganga Sagara Gamanam. May one go to these holy places to receive this glorious knowledge from the qualified teachers. And he mentioned one place called Ganges, in the banks of Ganges. Kurude Ganga Sagara Gamanam. And Vrata Paripalanam Atava Dhanam. Vrata Paripalanam. Vrata, those spiritual disciplines. What are the disciplines which we get from our gurus and the traditional teachers? May one reset their lifestyle according to that values. It's very important to reset the life. In other words, format your lifestyle. By listening the words of teachers, traditional teachers, day-to-day life, and start some woes in your life. There is a saying in the villages of India, if you go to Kashi, Varanasi, you should come back by giving up one thing in your life. What I should give up? Something which you like in your life. Some people give up their wheat halwa. Some people give their bangan sabji, karakolambu, which is made of bangan, which they eat deliciously, mouth-watering dish. Enna kathirikai kolambu. Some people give up Mysore paku. Some people give jalebi. Some people give up biryani. Because villagers ask, when you go to Varanasi and come back, what did you give up? For their knowledge, these types of things are to be given up according to their limited information. For a spiritual seeker, the ultimate thing to give up in your life is anger and desires. Kama and Krodha. This is what is to be given up. When you come from the Varanasi, after reaching the banks of Ganges and praying to her, she blesses you to be a real spiritual seeker, and she gives a discrimination through a traditional guru, and you will start a traditional studying under a traditional teacher. Slowly, one should give up all kinds of unwanted desires, unwanted anger, and may one make their life slowly according to the Vedic lifestyle. So, Vrata Paripalanam, practices of spiritual disciplines. Anytime the supply here goes and come back because heavy rain going on outside and lightning also there. Lord, thank God that we can talk and we can conduct the class, even though this type of disturbances are there outside. I love rain, I love thunder and everything. But in the class time, I feel very uncomfortable. I have half of the way in the outside situation. So it's a heavy rain going on in Kerala, where I am sitting right now. Fine. I just want to give you. Sometimes the power goes and come back. We will have a break for 10-15 seconds. No problem. We will conduct our class. Don't worry. Just I am giving an information in the pre. Okay. So, spiritual disciplines are very important in our day-to-day life. Why? My preparation is very important than the receiving of the knowledge. A field which is very clear and which is ready to sow the seeds will easily make the seeds to grow from a plant to a reaping plant. A plant which is ready to give all kinds of desirable results. But one should be ready with the field in a proper way. Clearing the field is very important in order to get the favorable result. So my side, I need a lot of preparation. That is what we have studied in Tattva Bodha, another treatise of Adi Shankara. Fourfold disciplines he says in the Nitya Nitya Vastu Vivekaha. Discrimination regarding what is right and wrong in my life. A unique capacity of a human being. No other creatures own this capacity. Viveka. Iha amutra palabhoga virakaha. Dispassion towards this world, also some other words which you have listened from different scriptures, like Sorga, Pitarloga, Indraloga. There the sensual pleasures are many compared to this world. May one get more dispassion towards the external world. Then only one can focus on the spiritual studies. These are all spiritual disciplines I am telling in a shorter way. Just I am giving a hint. I am not giving an elaborated explanation. Viveka, Vairagyam are spiritual disciplines. And it is a traditional study. That is why Vividisha Sannyasam is also possible. A person go to a traditional teacher without knowing anything, and after taking sannyasa, he started to study from the A to all the things. From the beginning, what is meant by Vedanta? What is called Veda? Why I should study Vedanta? As a human being, why I cannot enjoy the world at the same time and also study all these spiritual scriptures? All these questions are being answered. Why our sages given up the external world and walked away to the isolated places? Why they didn't live a life demanding all kinds of delicious foods and luxurious dresses and all other comforts in their life? Just they given up and walked away. We have lots and lots of examples. Even the Rajas given up this type of world which is filled with comforts like Gautama Buddha, Vishwamitra, Ashwapati, lots and lots of kings itself given up this external world and walked away to study in search of knowledge. All these questions are answered in the day-to-day teachings by the traditional teacher. It is not a single day solution. Every person have lots and lots of questions in their life once they enter into this spiritual journey. But don't think that every question will be answered in one single day. It takes time. Keeping these questions aside, focus on the teachings of Guru. Even those teachings may give lots and lots of questions, but on the course of time, everything is answered. That's called, we say, Shraddha is also important, which will be one value of the sixfold values. Nitya Nitya Vastu Vivekaha is a spiritual discipline which is prescribed by Shankaracharya as a traditional person. Viveka Vairagya Iha Mutra Palabhoga Viragaha. Vairagyam towards the external world, towards the relationship, towards the daughter-son relationship, towards the husband-wife relationship, towards the household relationship. Everything is possible also. Without any possibilities, they don't just mention in the books. I met somebody in Rishikesh, he have a sentence to give to me. And I amused by his sentence. And I laugh by his sentence. He says, Vedanta is only for lecture, not for living. And I respect him, so I didn't say anything. I listened from him and I laugh at him. Yes, we are just listening, not for living. Vedanta is not meant for living. It is just for living. Most of the people are mistaken. This way is proper. 1 hour we listen Vedanta and we go to our day-to-day life, which is not a correct way of living. Vedanta itself is our life. One need to reset. That's why format the lifestyle and give up all kinds of misunderstood notions and take the truth in their life slowly, not everything all together. We will give slowly some baby food, slowly. After 8 years or 10 years only, you will give some hard food to that baby. So, spiritual pursuit, entering into a spiritual pursuit, we are kids. Slowly go along with the traditional teacher, what the traditional teacher says. And we live a life according to the listening from the traditional teacher. Slowly we will change our lifestyle. Suppose we are eating fish and meat when we go to Gurus and he says that ahimsa paramo dharma. Oh, there was an American doctor, my student, he is a multi-millionaire and he has a very big hospital in the US and lots and lots of patients. He is connected with the heart surgery and everything. But his favorite food is fish. He can listen Vedanta, he can study Vedanta, he can give up all the heart surgery and everything, come to my online classes and study and teach and listen to me. And I started some special classes only for him. Only problem is, after the age of 75, you are saying me to stop fish, Swamiji. How can I stop? I didn't tell you to stop. If you convince with you that Non-hurting is a part of a sadhu, a disciplined mind, non-hurting. Don't hurt animals or people or birds or anything in this world is a lifestyle of a spiritual personality. If you are convinced, you give up. If you are not convinced, you just attend my classes and you eat fish. One day you will feel that I cannot hurt. And I give up. Up to that, you listen. So, just listening, one people will not have that free will to give up what is wrong in their life. Take some time and give up, no problem. That is why Nitya Nitya Vistu Vivekaha Vairagyaha Iha Amutra Palabhoga Viragaha is Vairagya. And the Shamadi Shakka Sampatti, sixfold values. Shamam, Damam, Uparama, Titiksha, Shraddha, Samadhanam. Wow. What are the characteristics of these values? I will talk to you later. Just understand these are all spiritual disciplines. What Shankara wants us to take in our life after getting these traditional teachings or before starting these traditional teachings or while we are listening to the traditional teachings. And the mumukshutvam is also a spiritual discipline. That is been told in the another two lines which we are going to see. So, Vrata Paripalanam Athava Dhanam. May one perform the spiritual disciplines in their day-to-day life. May take the guidance of traditional teacher, what type of disciplines I can hold in my life. And also, Dhanam. Dhanam is one value which is told in the Shruti. There are a set of spiritual disciplines told in the Shrutis called Upanishad and Vedanta. There are some other spiritual disciplines told in the Smritis. Vabi Kupa Tatagadi Devata Ayatanam Anna Pradhanam Aramam Cha Purthamityavidhiyate. Construction of well where there is no wells. Vapi, construction of big water bodies for the people so that they can enjoy their field cultivation. They can take some water to drink and everything. Wherever there is a need of water, one need to construct. Smriti says, Babi Kuba Tadagadi Devata Ayadanam, construction of temples and religious places so that people can come and listen all these teachings from the traditional teachers, because temples are the central point of these traditional teachings. From there only everything get radiated, everything get reflected. Vabi Kuba Tatakadi Devata Ayadanam Anna Pradhanam, offering food and money wherever there is a need. Aramam, making some rest houses for the people and providing their basic needs. In this Dhanam with joy. So Dhanam means all kinds of disciplines what one can do in the life. That will purify the mind. Chittasya Shuddhaye Karma. All these actions will not bring knowledge, will make readiness in one side. We will be ready to receive the knowledge properly. The purification of mind. Anthakarana Shuddhyartham Dhanam and Vrata Paripalanam. For the purification of the mind, for the readiness of a person to receive the knowledge properly in its own way, in the right way, What Guruji says, I should know exactly what he says. I cannot take in a wrong way, or I cannot take in a partial way. Once I am ready completely, I can receive this knowledge properly inside my mind. Okay? So readiness will come only by doing actions. And really speaking, by doing all these type of actions which are mentioned in the Vedas, will make the person attain to know the truth which is free from all kinds of actions. Naishkarmya siddhyartham karmani kurvanti. By doing all the karmas, one will reach a state of performing non-action. What a beautiful way. I will give an example in the practical life. You know yam, you know plantain. They will only give once in their life. One yam plant will only one big yam in their life. Once you take the yam, it will die. This is how the plantain tree, Valakkai Palam, Valai Palam, it will only grow once in their life. So, growing and giving some bananas is the destruction of the plantain tree. So, it grows for its destruction. Once the bananas are came out and they are ready to cut and to make it ripe, that plantain has gone. So growing for its destruction. A jiva will do all the action for its own destruction. Naishkarmya siddhyartham karmani kurvanti. Buddha. The wise will do the action to achieve the state of performing non-action. To know I am Atma, which is Akarta, Abhokta. For knowing that knowledge, I will do all kinds of action and I will reach a state of non-performing of actions. In order to know that, I perform all kinds of actions. It is not that in order to get an addiction to do all kinds of actions. Don't think that. Veda prescribes the actions in the Karma Kanda with two types of attitudes. One, selfish attitude. I want to get this, I want to achieve this so that I perform this action. Another is a selfishness attitude. Anthakarana shuddhyartham. Chitta shuddhi dwara, duridakshaya dwara. I perform this action because I want my mind to be purified, and also I have the capacity to do the action. So I do the action without having a specific result in my mind. I do it properly, sincerely. So one can keep any kind of attitude. The second attitude will bring the purification of mind by doing the action, which will make a person to ready to receive this knowledge. For that only Vrata Paripalanam and Athava Dhanam is mentioned by the Shankaracharya in the second line. Understand? For the purification of mind. And the third line. Jnana vihinaha sarva matena muktim na bhajati janma shatena. A big topic is been mentioned. Once the mind got purified, or if I am under the process of purification, I can start to listen the knowledge. Why I should listen the knowledge? That's why jnana vihinaha. Devoid of jnana. Without the knowledge. Without listening to the knowledge which is told in the Vedanta, in the last portion of Vedas, one will not get liberated, freed from this bondage of samsara. even after taking 1,000 births or 100 births. Janma Shatena, by taking 100 births and you do auspicious actions, still you will be roaming around this Janana Marana Samsaram, because I didn't get the knowledge properly from my Guru. This is the topic. Let me see, what is the time? 5 minutes more I will talk. So, we know that our external world, which is perceived by me, which is enjoyed by me, which is being continuing along with me, are Nashwaram. Nashwaram means destructible. One day it will start, another day it will go to destruction. No external world cannot promise me the ultimate happiness. My body has also certain states. One time I can enjoy something, after a period I cannot enjoy certain things. So, whole world life, if I see, it seems to be some dramatic way. And I am also living along with this world. And we see pain and suffering in my life also, in others' life also. As a seeker, as a person who can think beyond the nose, I think, is there any way to coming out of all kinds of sufferings and all kinds of pain in my life? Or this world is created in this manner? I should think as a person who can think looking towards all these things. Should I go through sufferings all my life, or is there any way to coming out all these sufferings? I need to think myself. Or in some of my lifetime, in some moments, I have thought already this type of solutions. I was wondering for some solutions in my life. Is this creation is filled with the sufferings and pain, or is there any solution in this creation? I need to know. From my experiences, there is no happiness on any particular thing in the external world, as I know that. Anything, it can give me happiness for a moment. After that, it is getting bored. Whether it is a mobile, whether it is a TV, whether it is your partner, whether it is your car, whatever it may be. After a period of time, it will be the object of suffering. So, I want to know that. Is there any way to come out of this situation? That is why Shankara mentioned, we are not informed about the reality. We are living a life according to some information given by parents and the society and the people around me, which we call erroneous notions. I took all these thoughts, which are truth without thinking. I didn't think whether it is right or wrong. All the society given all these thoughts and I kept. You know, somebody given a present for you in your life, you didn't open because you are busy, and also you didn't need something to know what is inside that. Similarly, people have given different types of thoughts in your life, right from the childhood. I have studied in a Christian convent in my childhood. They introduced me, this is the Lord. This Jesus Christ is the Lord. And I believe completely. And I was praying in front of him in my bow, in my knees. I lighted candle and I was praying. And still I believe a Christ is a form of yogi. Fine. All these thoughts I already kept in my mind because teachers give some messages, some stories. This is the Savior in the world. It's okay for me on that time. And it is dumped by them and I kept inside my mind. Similarly, people has given all the social norms are to be followed. All these rules are followed by a man. All these rules are followed by a woman. This is the ceremony. This is the function. This is the thing. All these things are to be followed by as a human being who is living in a social society. I am a social being. So I didn't think properly whether it is right or wrong. I just took all this information and kept in my head and I just followed them. This is what a normal human being goes through that. Then we meet lots of sufferings and pain in day-to-day life. Why? Because they are not correct. They are not right. It's only meant for a person who want to live in this world with a human body. And I am not this human body, and this world is not true, which is only an illusion, just like in the dream. That truth is not been revealed by anybody right from the childhood. And I am not informed regarding the truth of the creation and about myself. So whatever I deal with a base of false understandings and false ideas, everything will be a mistake only. Because nobody given a truth message for me regarding myself or regarding the world. Everybody given false understandings and false informations and wrong notions which are being taken by me without having any analysis. And this is my foundation. This is my base to deal with the world. So I deal with the world with the wrong measures. So everything will become wrong. That is why I end up in sufferings. Because everybody given wrong measures. And with these wrong measures, I deal with the world. Then everything will become wrong and sufferings. Dealing will not be proper because the messages regarding this world and myself is not true, not given by anybody proper information. So the base itself is false. The base itself is wrong. From this basic information being wrong, I cannot develop all the information properly. Every information regarding the world is only wrong, and everything, whatever I do, will end up in sufferings and pain only. So I want to come out of that. How I can come out of that is being mentioned in these 2 lines, which will be our topic in the next class. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamataya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Hari Om. Namaste, all of you. See you in the next class.
Thank you, Swamiji.
Pranam.
Hari Om, Dilip
Pranam,
ji.
pranam.